Religion hides the truth. Real divinity lies within you, and the physical world is an elaborate illusion. These aren't just wild clickbait statements, well, maybe a little bit, but they're also the core beliefs of a secret group of Christians whose teachings were considered too dangerous for the Bible. These individuals were known collectively as Gnostics, and they believed that they didn't need organized religion because they had a deeper, more direct connection to God. The word Gnostic comes from the Greek word gnosis, which means knowledge, and that's exactly what they offered. True knowledge, not just about God, but about humanity, our world, and the nature of reality. However, these teachings were so controversial and so threatening to the established order of things that the church declared them heretical. And their books were burned, their followers were persecuted, and anybody caught with their text faced execution. Yes, people died for these ideas. If you're new here, I'm Shauna, and my passion is taking ancient spiritual knowledge and updating it to a modern format so that you can use it as a stepping stone on your path to freedom. I'm going to be really honest with you. What I share on my channel is controversial. So if that's okay with you, you should definitely subscribe and like this video because I only get deeper from here. Also, check out my members only section and my Patreon, where I upload all of the videos that are too spicy for my public pages. Now let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like you don't quite fit in, or like you're not really from here? Maybe you feel like you're a bright spirit trapped in an underwhelming world. If so, you already share the mindset of a Gnostic. They believed that the reason why so many people feel like they don't belong is because they are in tune with something that they called a divine spark that was yearning to be set free. The Gnostics did not bow down to external authorities. Instead, they looked for divinity and validation within. They were spiritual rebels who challenged the very core of what it meant to be religious in their time. The Gnostics believed that the material world is a house of mirrors and a trap created by a false god designed to keep us from recognizing our true nature. And according to them, we are not sinners, but demigods trapped in physical bodies. And the path to salvation is not through worship, but through self-knowledge or gnosis, which is the recognition of our true nature. In the Gnostic teachings, the true God is not the harsh, vengeful figure we see in the Old Testament. They believe that was a jealous and flawed creator named Yaldabaoth. And they saw that he ordered massacres, destroyed cities, and enforced rigid and often cruel laws. And they came to the conclusion that only a flawed being could commit such atrocities. But the Gnostics didn't just criticize Old Testament God. They also reinterpreted the entire story of creation from Genesis. According to them, Yaldabaoth created Adam and Eve not as beloved children, but as prisoners. And he trapped their godlike spirits in human bodies and erased their minds so that they wouldn't remember who they truly are. They also believed the serpent, the one who offered Adam and Eve the fruit of knowledge, was actually a liberator trying to wake humanity up from its spiritual amnesia. But of course, the God of the Old Testament, Yahweh, isn't just a random character of cruelty. Historically, the Old Testament reflects the harsh realities of life for the ancient Israelites. Yahweh was seen as a protector and a warrior god, fighting for often small and vulnerable tribes in a brutal world. Many of the harsh laws and stories we find in the Old Testament, such as those involving war, violence, and punishment, came from this context of survival during attack or warfare. For the Israelites, Yahweh's strictness was a form of protection and a way to maintain order in a chaotic environment. But for the Gnostics, who foresaw humanity's evolution, they realized that the harshness documented in some parts of the Old Testament was no longer needed. They believed that self-love and self-deification was the way to point humanity towards the true God of infinite love that Christ taught us about. In the New Testament, Christ arrives with a radically different message. Instead of the wrath and judgment of Yahweh, Christ preaches of the Father and of love and of a kingdom that is not of this world. This is the message that the Gnostics wanted to spread. So, just like the Bible is divided into the Old and New Testament, the human psyche is divided into the conscious and subconscious mind. The conscious mind is where we experience the material world through the five senses, and it deals with our physical safety. The subconscious mind is where the soul lives, and it deals with our mental and emotional intelligence. And it is the part of us that remembers our divine origins and yearns for a life of both spiritual and physical abundance. Coming to Gnosis is the process of awakening the subconscious mind and integrating it into our conscious reality. It's the recognition that we are more than just physical beings fighting for survival. We are gods in our own right, temporarily lost maybe, but always capable of great things. Gnosticism isn't just a rejection or critique of mainstream religion. In fact, the Gnostics didn't really believe in Yaldabaoth or any of the other gods and goddesses they speak about. They understood that these were archetypes or symbols that help us understand the deeper truths about who we are. I hope this video has helped you grasp the fact that true enlightenment doesn't involve submission or obedience. It comes by remembering how much power you truly possess. To learn about the woman who defeated God, go and check out this video right here. And thank you so much for watching to the end. I love you, and I will see you in the next one.